Hello everybody, welcome to this week's Prophetic Trumpet. We are in my goodness, now the 7th week of the You Will Be Like God series, and today we're going to talk about our identities. Who gives us our identities? Is it something that we do unto ourselves? Is it our sovereign Lord, then Creator? Is it the government? Who gives you your identity? You see, I want to sink into this today because as we continue in this series, which really is an emphasis on how much we are playing into the temptation given to Eve in the garden when the fallen angel that became the serpent said, "You will be like God." Are we in pursuit of that as people? So let's examine this, because we have the technology now, and the advent in some countries have introduced what is known as digital identities. This is a little different than digital currency, but there are systems out there that coincide the two. So with this, we can see some fingerprints, or maybe some seeds, depending on which analogy you want to use, that will eventually blossom and become a part of the beast system as spoke of in Revelation 13. So a portion of the mark of the beast is to be able to track human beings and to give up your identity to become property of the beast system, and as well as for the beast system to be able to determine who buys or sells any commodity in all of existence. We're not just talking about material goods, we're talking healthcare, we're talking everything out there that is a commodity where money is exchanged. That's part of what the beast system is. Now, here's some key facts. Let's take a look at India. India forced 1 billion plus people into their respective digital chains. They forced the same people into biometric identification within their bodies. Food, healthcare, pensions, investments, everything is tied to this digital identification. There is authentication features that have been used and denied people really essentials that they need for everyday living. Hacking into this digital system has been widespread, and data has been stolen, and identities have been stolen and manipulated. The elderly, well, they've lost benefits with glitches in the system where they are even denied life-saving health care. So people have died after rations and daily needs are rejected from the system, and they go without and they pass away. The essential nature of this digital ID system in India is you scan or you starve. That is a government institution and a government protocol. So let's ask why this matters in the here and now. Well, again, we go back to last week when we spoke at length about artificial intelligence, and its hacking outpaces the system security that is in place to guard it. The bureaucracy involved with these systems replaces human judgment, and no government can entirely safeguard data. We have seen that over and over again with the famed, we'll just say the entity known as WikiLeaks. So this matters because heirs become life or death instantly because of the essentials that certain human beings need, and really the broad spectrum as to what each and every one of us need every day. So there is a failure blamed on citizens, however, and not the system. The system is never to blame in any of these cases. So what are the stakes and what are the fallouts to this? Well, service outages essentially become death sentences. Control is perfected on the poor first because they are the needy, so they are served first, and they are the, shall we say, guinea pigs to the system. Digital permission replaces human rights. With digital ID, you have no human rights. It is granted to you based upon compliance. And peasants get biometrics. Rulers get absolute freedom. They do not have to comply because they own the system. Non-compliancy equals non-existence. That's the case. And that falls perfectly in line with Revelation 13. Technological billionaires call this progress. Progress. I don't understand that. The same people that fight for the human rights aspect want to deny human rights with the advent of digital ID. So what's the bottom line here? Well, we have choices. We can refuse digital IDs or we can give in to it. Just bear in mind what comes on each side of the equation, because where a bug really, essentially, could be a death sentence if you are not meeting the compliant needs to get what you need to treat the bug. Now, India's digital ID system, known as Aadhaar, AADAAR, has been criticized for its potential to cause immense harm, despite the intended benefits therein. While the government claims it has helped streamline welfare, and critics will obviously point to issues like exclusion or denial of benefits due to technical glitches and poor internet access, like people have control over that. With some cases, starvation resulting from the failure to link food, healthcare, and pensions to the identification are the result. Concerns with this system also exist regarding the privacy of data, security, potential for the government to overreach and revoke the human rights freedoms that they say that we are all entitled to. Now, the potential negative consequences, like I haven't been able to harp on that enough already, let's kind of break this down. There's the exclusion and the denial of benefits, obviously. The system has caused a perverse twist where some of the most vulnerable people are denied benefits due to the technical failures, such as people with worn out fingerprints or lack of reliable internet access. Again, I will point out, the common folk have no control over that. Then there's starvation. We alluded to this. The critics report that the denial of food subsidies due to system failures has led to starvation in some cases, which is a horrible, horrible way to die, in which, let's just be honest, nobody in this day and age should die of starvation. There's obviously the privacy and the security risks that we've alluded to. There's a significant number of concerns about the amount of personal data collected within these systems, and the potential for misuse by the government. There's data leaks. There's the possibility of increased surveillance upon human beings as respective to their locations, their activities, even what it is they are saying. Now, as we also stated, the poor are the vulnerable here initially. The system places the people that are at the burden of the system on individuals to fix errors, which is a significant challenge for the poorest and the most marginalized people who may lack the resources or technology literacy to adequately participate in the system. Obviously, privacy is at risk within these systems without privacy laws in place to guide the system. The system was deployed rapidly in India without comprehensive data protection and privacy laws, leaving the system entirely vulnerable. Now, what are the intended benefits, though? What were the people of India offered to take all this on? Well, there's the distribution of welfare. The government asserts that the system helps distribute welfare more efficiently to those who are more in need quickly. There's streamlined services that has been used to streamline civil services and allow people to move between states without losing their respective benefits. There's the cleanup of the database issue, that this system has helped remove fraudulent names from voter rolls and other databases. And wow, what a hot button topic that is in this day and age in the United States. So when we round this up, let's take a look at a post from Breaking 911, which is an X platform account. This stated that Apple launched a digital ID in the United States, letting users use IDs as passports in their Apple wallets and use them as in TSA checkpoints in 250 airports for domestic travel. So when we round this up, we can see that the advent of this has spread pretty rapidly, honestly, because the technology is now probably dated technology. Moving so quick with the advent of AI, if you go back to what I said last week about the rapid advent of AI and its usage in our cultures around the world, we got to remember what Revelation 13 says about all this. Because the mark of the beast determines if you can buy or sell, whether you can take and get access based upon nothing less than your full compliance to the government. If you refuse it, you are considered a non-compliant outlaw to a one world government, and you will be hunted and you will be beheaded. That, by the way, is a Muslim tactic of forced compliance into their madness and endorsed by this one world government. If you want more on that, we're going to speak on that on next week's Prophetic Trumpet. So we want to thank you for joining us for this week's Prophetic Trumpet. Like and share the message. Get the truth of God's Word out there. Please subscribe to our account. Hit the notification bell. And we hope that you have an awesome and favored day.